Jacob. So
this dude showing up with a freaking 10
There's
ton.
so much, and even if we had more, I don't think it.
oh my god.
Von Gittin just does a burn.
No, that is that Vaughn?
No, I like this.
You also have gigantic hands.
In that car right now. We didn't fly all the ways here to watch you walk around in a sling.
Did you know, if you look very, very closely, you know that big arch, the Gateway Arch? If you look very, very closely at the base of it, I believe it's on the north side of it. Take a look at the very bottom. It says, Jacob will save you $5 by using OZSTL at checkout. It's crazy that they had the foresight to put that in there. But take their advice, use OZSTL at checkout, save $5 on your St. Louis tickets. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Outerzone, the official podcast of Formula Drift. My name is Jacob Gettins. Today we have the Irish contingency. I don't know. We need to find like a name for the group of the three of you. The Irish
neighbors,
invasion.
maybe.
Neighbors, yeah. Jack was giving me a history on just how many pro drivers. I mean, looking at IDC pro drivers, it is insane how many of you came out of this area.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think James probably knows a lot more of the local drivers from beyond when I first started, because James' brother Mike would have competed with those first before even James started driving. So
Yeah.
like I was telling about all like Linahans, Larry Love, Kinnett, like everyone that like just here basically.
Yeah, basically the school I went to, there was 3 brothers, the Linahans. They all were competing in drifting, pro drift back in the day. They live like 4 minutes away from here. Obviously Jack and Conor live 4 minutes from here.
yeah. I mean, it was like 2.5 to get here, but yeah, I know what you mean, 4 minutes, yeah.
They don't need a sat nav.
Yeah.
Put it like that. There's a group in Mallow, like Stephen Shine, Kenneth Murphy, Larry Love, we all went to school together and drifted.
Yeah.
And obviously Michael Sheen, who works with me now, Mikey Walsh, who works with me now. Absolutely wild. Like we grew up together, drifting, bit of rallying. I didn't compete, but just following all that kind of motorsport from a very young age, and we're all really close.
Is that all from the kickoff of Darren really getting into it, like his core group of friends kind of sparking the whole scene in the area?
Yeah. For me, it was my brother, obviously.
Yeah.
Who competed in the first ever event. And many events after that. He was competing from 2002 until, I think, maybe 2011 might have been his last season, 2012. Maybe later, I can't remember. But
I think it was 2012 because I drove his car in Tullerone.
Oh yeah,
that was the second last pro drift event.
Yeah,
he didn't do IDC. He just done up to pro drift stopping.
Yeah.
So
that was it for me. But all those guys were great friends and used to go to rallies together, drifting together. So it was just like a car community, and kind of exploded from there.
Yeah, it's wild because like it's still absurd that like all of you guys came off of one road. It makes sense though. I mean, something I talked about recently is like drivers coming back and driving in their home series, and I think that's a massive difference with kind of the European structure of driving and the way you guys all come up versus what I'm kind of seeing out of the US series is right now, where it's like if you do really well in a series in the US, you kind of just go find the next big series to drive in, as opposed to here, you guys are more or less stuck with each other. So if somebody wants to do well, they would have had to have driven with all 3 of you guys, or Dwayne, or Darren, or whoever else, right? So you're forced to get better. There's no running away from getting better. If you want to be the best, you're literally driving with the best in the country almost every event.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, the size of the country, where Ireland is like a small state in America. So you can imagine if all the US drivers were just from one state, they would know each other a lot more. They'd hang out together a lot more. They'd be crossing paths a lot more and battling together a lot more. So I feel like Ireland is lucky like that.
Disproportionately, though, like even if you look at the total population, the amount of pro drivers that have come out of that, I don't know of another country that's basically like pro driver per capita.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another country that has it.
We also only have one championship though. You know, we never had multiple series to go and compete in. As where if you're on the continent, like if you were like from France, you could go to like Germany to compete in their championship, or you could go like vice versa. We were always like stuck here, so we had no other choice but to all compete into one place. So I think that was like one of the saving graces of it, is that like we had to go there to the same place basically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As we're in America, you've got
multiple.
There's multiple
Oh yeah, even in one
series
state.
in one state.
One
yeah.
state you could have 3 or 4. I mean, California's got at least 3 big series. So
Yeah, that to me is a bit mad because like we've always only ever had Pro Drift, IDC, or IDS. Like it's to be honest, it's all the same people. You know, just different names, but it's always been the same thing like since the beginning. You know,
I have the same head judge since like 2003.
Yeah,
He's
the same guy.
Yeah.
So
And he's still running the championship, which is crazy.
yeah.
still coming up with crazy rules and ways of judging to make it even more difficult or more. I mean, more transparent. I think in some ways that grid system that he's built out is wild. But I think it got so technical that it needed to happen. Just transparency in judging.
And like Ireland, between all its classes, every drift weekend had pretty much over 100 drivers all the time. And that's a lot of guys to qualify. And everybody knew that if you weren't doing the proper line, you're just not going to qualify. So he really focused to push the drivers online and made that very clear. And I feel like that's an upper hand that we've always had when we went competing internationally. It was like, first thing is make sure you fill every zone. And then build on it from there.
Yeah, like even when it comes to like power and angle and all that kind of stuff, like his style points essentially never really counted for anything. Like if you could do it with massive angle and loads of smoke, but like not be on the right line, there's a fair chance you weren't going to qualify.
Yeah.
So
he would still reward like an M3 BMW doing the same line as
like
a 700 horsepower car. He's still the same guy.
Yeah, like to this day, like there was actually an A86 20 valve Corolla in 4th place at round 2 of the IDS this year, just because it was like raining and he could drift the line exactly how you could do it. But he was very, very slow, and that's probably why he got to 4th place. But Kieran was like, this is my rules. Like, he'd run the line exactly how I want him to do it. And he's not obstructing the chase car in any way, basically.
Yeah, it's up to the chase car to figure it out.
Yeah, it's that's just how he just kind of brainwashed us into drifting, I guess.
Yeah.
We had to do it his way, and that
he
was
pushed
it.
with hard tracks too, though. Like he never gave an easy track and always was experimenting with like different ideas, different things. Even when we hated it,
Yeah, but we
he
never
still
had
was
race
willing to
tracks.
experiment with it.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
It was like we used
lot
to
of
drift
car
in car
parks,
parks. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, that meant that he could kind of build what he wanted. I know he was a big fan of consistent radiuses, and like that's what makes the best chase is going to be consistent. When we have reducing radiuses, that's when people get choked up and you get bad driving. So he's pretty. I haven't known him obviously as long as you guys have, but the talks I've had with him over the years, it's like he's very steadfast in what he thinks makes drifting great. Yeah, and it's produced incredible drivers. So it's hard to argue with him. I mean, it's impossible to argue with him because he's so hard-headed. But it's hard to argue with the results that have come out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's been wild, and I feel like when drifting was kind of taking off and we all got like obsessed with it, you know, people then saw what was happening outside of Ireland, and then back in the day, Damien Mulvey and Darren McNamara, Julian Smith, a good crew of people used to, Mike Murphy, they all flew out to see D1 at Irwindale.
Right.
And I'm not sure, was that the first time Darren was there or was it his first time there when he competed? But when Darren went to compete there, that all kind of gave the rest of the drivers in Ireland and Darren making a career from driving, we're like, oh my God, like that's possible. And then it gave us all kind of new dreams. And yeah, we all just pushed and tried to make it happen. And quite a few drivers met it out there, like Eric O'Sullivan, Damien Mulvey actually did a round at D1. Who else? Deane Carney, obviously.
Yeah.
It's quite all of us.
And us.
Yeah. I was gonna say 3 more here.
I didn't even know that Mulvey done around the D1. That's
he did.
crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why.
I think in the D1 signal,
Yeah, it
was it a 180 or a 180 with an S15 front? I
Yeah,
think?
it had like, it was some sort of a combination, yeah.
That's a long time ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, Conor's not really great at the history of drifting, to be honest.
Oh,
I showed him a video of Shinji Minowa
Yeah, that
in Finland.
really was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was
crazy,
like, he didn't understand. I showed him a video of Shinji like drifting on the streets with his 86, because like obviously I like 86s, so I was like, this is Shinji, and Conor was like, no way.
And then he showed me an interview, and then it all made sense. It was Manoa with long hair with more confidence. It was like, watch out, I'm here. I was like, what? And now you talk to him, and he's like the most down to earth, quiet man.
Yeah.
You know, really loves drifting. And when Jack showed me that, I was like, there's no way. I was like, that's not him. Like,
That's
how many
funny.
years ago? But I guess I was a small guy when, even when Mulvey and everybody was starting, I didn't even barely know what drifting was. Never mind anything else, you know.
What year were you born?
2003.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I was at my watching my first drift event in December 2002.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I think
You're 91, right? You're
91, yeah.
90, yeah. How am I the oldest one here? I feel so unaccomplished.
Yeah, I'm not far behind.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll still always be older than you, though. That's the problem. So one race I can beat you at is aging.
yeah, you're not going to catch up.
No. The history part is tough because there's just so many diverging things. Like I was even trying to map out before the Tony Angelo episode, like truly where did drifting start in the US? Was it East Coast and West Coast? And that's such a massive thing. And like they basically both started within possibly a week of each other on two separate sides of the country.
Crazy.
And it just depends on who you like kind of go, this is the person or that's the guy.
Yeah.
But even just the East Coast stuff, like I went down a massive rabbit hole. And I'm like, this is just one small part of the country. And like, you could make a 3-hour documentary on it and still feel like you're cutting shit out. And I think we forget that because it feels like such a tight community because we just all more or less hang out with each other. And it's just like a group of people and then someone kind of comes in for a bit and then leaves. And then somebody else who's there for a while leaves. And then the new guy comes in, is there for a while. Like, but there's, a core that sticks and then just people kind of fade in and out. So I feel Ireland in a very similar sense because like every time I think I'm like, oh, I think I understand the core group. I'm learning about new people that have come in or you're like, bring something. Even I didn't give enough credit to Dwayne until I really started diving in and then saw his driving. I'm like, oh shit, like this dude could have been the greatest of all time. It just didn't really come together in the end.
Yeah, he's the next guy I'd love to see make it to FD.
Oh, dude, I just want to see his interviews. That's it. Like,
People would be fairly confused. I must say, like we're fairly good at adapting our like accent to slow it down a little bit and try make people understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
As Dwayne is still at the part.
He's
like
still figuring it out.
yeah, like he needs to slow it down for us sometimes. So like people on your side of the water would definitely be confused. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Dwayne gave a big part to Irish drifting, especially in my opinion, of like my era of when I first got my pro license. Like Dwayne was like, it was insane how good he was.
Yeah.
And obviously he was trying to gather funds. That was even before he went to Europe for the first year.
Yeah.
But like there was a time where he was unbeaten in the British Championship, unbeaten in the Irish Championship, and everyone was kind of starting to go to Europe. But I think Dwayne, in my opinion, held the level of Irish pro drifting for a long time. Because you went there and you knew that this guy could go to Europe right now and he is good enough to win. And I think that's, in my opinion, that's why we were so lucky with the Irish Championship, is that especially in the part where I went through the ranks, I had like James come back for an event every now and again. Jack was coming back. Jack was still driving there. Dwayne was driving there. And I feel like that elevated everybody else. And I think, if anything, that elevated Dwayne because I think Dwayne was like the hero of the Irish Drift Championship. When you went to FD the first year. So when James came back to do like a local event, it was almost like Dwayne McKeever was like, I don't care. Like I need to beat him. And I feel like that elevated Dwayne for a long time of like, I feel like I have a chance 2 hours down the road to show that I'm still good enough to be the best in the world without spending hundreds of thousands to be at a championship, which was pretty cool for the Irish Drift Championship. And I guess it was the same when I was starting to drive in the Pro Championship. Like so lucky to have these guys to drive with, these guys to push you and know that before you spend all this money, you're going to be good enough before you ever leave, which is cool.
It set you guys up for success is really what it did. That like once you left the island, you were like, I'm sure you showed up to other series and you're like, what is going on here? Like, why are these guys struggling so much? Like, this should be easy. I mean, there's obviously incredible drivers that come from everywhere, but I feel like you guys would have had a pretty good leg up leaving the country and still doing well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, obviously, I remember when I was first went to my first European event, it was like 2013, and James actually came with me to be my spotter. And
cool.
Like, I was only 13, and it was my first ever event outside of Ireland, and I qualified 6th or 7th and finished top 8 because my brakes failed.
That was Drift Masters, wasn't it? Was it
Drift All-Stars.
Drift All-Stars all the time.
Remember, it was around...
Well, it actually was technically Drift Masters.
It was a collaboration.
It was a collaboration, yeah.
Oh, right,
so
right.
Drift Masters was a national championship in Poland.
Right.
Before European stuff.
Right, because Drift All-Stars was the full European one, and then Drift Mat,
So like the whole build-up of that event was me and Adam Zaleski were both 13, and we both got to compete at that event, but Adam and me had been drifting for like the same amount of time at this point. And I went there and qualified 7th, and I don't think Adam qualified. And it was kind of mad because like we were all kind of being hyped up the exact same thing. But then I had done 12 months of drifting here, and I was trying to be as good as James, basically. As where I think Adam couldn't get into like the proper series again because there was like the Drift Masters, there was the STW or something.
There was like 3 championships.
There was like 3 championships in Poland again. So like that's what I was saying about that. Like we never had anywhere else. We only had the one to go and be the best at.
Yeah.
So when I went there and done that, like I didn't really feel like I was very nervous and very like freaking out that I was there, but like I was not like out of shape basically, you know. So
I remember a funny story from that event. You got on the radio to me and you were like, James, I think I have no brakes. And you were pumping the pedal. I said, do you have a handbrake? And you were like, yeah, I think it might have been your qualifying run.
No, it was my battle against Skolaski, yeah. In my top 8 or top 4.
Yeah. And I was, you were like, what'll I do? And I was there, well, if you have a handbrake, was it a handbrake?
I had a handbrake, yeah.
Yeah. I was there, just give it your best, it'll be all right.
basically just hit me to my death, like drive on.
You did it, though.
Yeah. I done my lead and it was fine, and then my chase. The track was really weird. You like flicked from a street into like a quick transition, like chicane, and then you're like this big long right-hander into like a really tight left-hander. And at the end, when I was chasing, I was trying to be as close as I could, and I needed to press the brakes, and nothing happened. So I had to like panic and like spin out. But yeah, we gave it a go anyway.
Yeah.
But it's funny that event was actually what turned Conor's eyes back onto drifting as well.
Right.
So
Yeah, when I was going there, I just remember James walking around with yellow flip-flops and the measuring tape, checking toe. But at that time, I generally was like, you know, I was playing soccer. I probably spent most of that weekend in a skate park. There was a skate park right behind the track on a scooter. I was begging my dad to buy me at some shop. And I didn't really have. But then that event, as like the battle started to go, I remember I sat in the grandstand and it was the first time ever in my life where I was like,
this is cool.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to do this. And then crazy how the turn, it flipped like probably 5 years later was my first European event in the exact same location, just across the street.
Oh, really?
That's where he won the event.
Yeah, it was
That's
wild
crazy.
that it was the same place. And I think I didn't even realize it was the same place until we drove into that. And me and Kevin, my spotter at the time, were playing like a game of hurling. And I was like, I swear this is where Jack had the first European event, and it was literally the same street. So it was pretty crazy that my brain flicked towards that at that time, you know?
Yeah, that's wild.
Mad.
And Bud Matt were doing such an amazing job at creating these events in Poland back then. Like they were so far ahead of the game in terms of production, set up grandstands, you know.
Like this event had
doing
like
custom
live
tracks.
stream, custom track, like around like a hockey arena.
Stadium,
It's like a hockey stadium thing.
Oh,
so
cool.
like we flicked from off the street and stuff like, and there was probably 10,000-15,000 people at this event. Like there was like full on grandstands everywhere. Like, and this was 2013. Like it's a long time ago. But Drift Masters was still doing the same thing then as they are now, you know.
Which is, the craziness.
Yeah, it is a bit mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like when
It
they
was
actually...
2014 was it 2015? Might have been 2015, the first year where I actually did one of them stadium layouts, and it's exactly the same layout, but just in a different stadium as they do now for the Drift Masters final.
Yeah.
So they're pouring that custom track and that same layout since then.
Since 2015, yeah.
And was also a 6 stadium then as
10
well.
years now.
Yeah.
That was a cool stadium.
Yeah, it was. Torn.
Yeah, that was a cool place.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, stadium will be nuts. It'll be my first time doing that, but I'm looking forward to it for sure. I mean, I think that's gonna be wild. Yeah, I still haven't wrapped my head around that whole thing yet, but
Hopefully no rain this year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there was no rain last year too.
Yeah.
I mean,
It just came at the end, didn't it? Like
Yeah,
top
right at
4.
the end.
Top 8, I think. Yeah.
Top 8 on.
But it was torrential, so like they were fairly on the ball. But
Yeah.
yeah.
it was a bit of a disaster.
It's a weird. Yeah, I remember watching it, and I'm like, "Why is there a dude in it?" Because I didn't catch the briefing, and I wasn't
With
like,
the
I just
tractor.
flicked it on. I'm just seeing a tractor out there spraying water. I was like, and then I kept reading comments because everyone's asking. I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
The
But
year before was chaos.
Yeah.
Like it started raining for top 8 again.
Yeah.
And everyone just binned it.
It was a disaster. Yeah. It was, and the worst thing about it, like the tarmac is fresh, so it still has like all the
oils in
and
it,
stuff in
yeah,
it.
it doesn't come up yet.
And then you put down a layer of rubber also.
Yeah.
So like it's a nice rink. Honestly, it's the slippiest thing in the world to drive in.
Yeah.
We talk about like the track evolution stuff, and maybe I like play into it too much, or it's just something we can talk about. How much can you guys tell like what a tarmac is like? Like, can you get out there and you're like, oh, this has more rubber down. I can feel the difference like a couple laps in, or like changing temps and stuff like that, or is that something we're like kind of over digging into?
I don't think so. To be honest, I never really noticed it in Drift Masters. But when I went to FD, you really notice the difference because the tires aren't as good as the Drift Masters
Yeah,
ones.
they're not as sticky by any means.
You have your car so hooked up in FD trying to figure out like the layout and stuff. Like if the temperature changes massively, there's a big difference through the car. So that's the only time I
Feel
ever
the car like moving around more.
The car will bounce more and stuff, like it's
maybe coming up short in the zone easier.
or like more grip in the handbrake or something silly. Like it's that's the only time I ever noticed it. I didn't really notice it before I went to America.
Yeah,
it was fairly consistent this side of the water for some reason. I think just the grip in the cars.
I think the tires are so soft here that like it's just it numbs a little bit of it. Where there's so much into that, but I mean, the FD cars are the mechanical setup is just insane in them. Just even looking at the amount of either toe-in guys run or some of the crazy. I mean, you know this better than anybody. This crazy stuff that happens in compression.
Yeah,
it's like just to get those cars to do what they're supposed to do at the speed that everyone wants to go at now. I think if we found a way to slow it down a little bit, that wouldn't be as bad. But everyone would just find another way to get around it and keep pushing.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter what they do. Someone's going to try to figure out a way to make it faster than the next guy. So
whatever rules they put in front of you, drivers and crew chiefs, you guys.
Okay,
let's do this.
It out somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I could never tell the difference in any of that stuff. Like maybe between two very different tracks, I was like, I can kind of feel the difference. But
you have tracks like one that stands out where you can definitely see there's going to be a problem is like when you do a track walk around Orlando and you look at that second corner and you're like, how?
It's like gravel.
Yeah. Oh, there's like rocks missing.
Yeah, it's gravel.
Like how are the tires going to last a lap? And they kind of don't.
They don't.
You guys are basically on cords coming around that last one.
It's like sandpaper, to be honest. Like you'd nearly fall off the scooter going around there. Like there's that many like.
Long Beach too, you can kind of see it because the rubber is there from the year before, and you really feel the grip changing on that track when you get close to the zones. It's like driving 4 different surfaces.
Yeah, I mean it is. It is 4. You've got road, 2 different car parks, and then I think concrete and somewhere in there as well.
Yeah.
It's like you try to do your first ever safe lap there, but you actually end up tagging every wall, but you're not meaning to.
And then you realize, that's the limit straight away.
Yeah, straight away. I remember you telling me we walked the track the first year I went there, and James was like, just play it a bit safe, like it kind of falls into the zones here. And I flicked in the first corner going pretty slow. And then I was like, okay, there's the bumper gone. Transition and thought like I was going to land a little bit away. And then I was like, there's the tail light gone. And then I'm like, and then everyone's like, that's the sickest first lap. And I'm like, not meaning to at all. Like it literally just fell into every zone.
Slippery,
It's the weirdest track ever. I personally hated it.
Really?
Like James and they both like it.
I liked it a lot.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's just a pinball machine. It's wild.
I think if it was like resurfaced, it'd be unreal. But the inconsistency of grip in a car that you don't really understand what it's going to do anyway, it was very tricky and like nervous, like very strange. I thought.
Yeah, you had a lot to learn in one weekend.
In one weekend,
You still got some strange tracks coming up, though.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, St. Louis is. I don't. I've heard that there's changes coming. I have no idea what they are. Hopefully, the wall is not there. But I
think they're removing the wall in the first corner.
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, at least a different type of wall in the first corner.
Yeah. Type of wall is a big issue in America. They really need to figure out that one will flip you and one will stop you. It's fairly straightforward, I think.
I think some of it's just. I mean, in that case, it was more the track not having the knowledge of exactly what we needed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I mean, I was there during setup day and watching those go up, and like even just the staff was like, "What is happening right now?" Yeah. So I mean, made for a nuts show, not in a great way.
Good photos.
Sorry, Adam, but
I hate those curved walls. They're just sketchy,
they're meant to roll the car. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. It's kind of the same in English Town too. I wish they like the wall on the outside that they'd just put a square one there.
Yeah.
And maybe they could, if there was a proper normal wall, they could run it to the edge and let us run the bumpers off them.
Yeah.
But it's just weird with that dirt trap.
Yeah.
And then it gets dug out, people are debeating and
I thought we had the walls against the track at one point.
They were, but they're K-rails, so they
that was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the danger ones.
the danger rails.
Sketchy rails.
Yeah. And then, Utah after that, same thing. I'm still pushing to do it backwards, but apparently the overlapping in the K-rails the wrong direction, and they would have to re-overlap all of them in the correct direction. And that's why we can't run it backwards.
If they let the drivers come in a couple of days earlier, I'm sure we'd all do it ourselves.
Yeah, just get a
just
forklift.
do something different.
I would definitely show up on the Monday to do that. I just want to see that track backwards. I I really do think it makes sense. But.
If not, I wish they went to like the 23 layout where would shorten the run up, and that would fix all the understeer in the first corner, and then there'd be close battles.
Yeah, it was weird though, like how much smoke you guys were in between the zones. Though I think that was the other thing they were talking about is like it's kind of a straight line in between.
Yeah,
but.
It did look better though.
Yeah, it just looked weird going off.
Well, because you're going off and it dips down, so you can't even see where the edge of the track is.
The track last year looked super sketchy, like very.
I think the hard part though is you guys still do it, and that's like the art. Like
we have to.
I know, but you'll do it and you'll put down a solid run, and then it's like, see, you guys can do it. Like it's almost a victim of your own success in that way.
I think that's the worst thing though. That like.
It just throws the consistency off of the chance of getting good battles. Maybe 5 people pull it off in practice and the rest looks like a mess.
But really you want like 25 people to do it.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Then you have a good chance of battles.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Like the background is unbelievable. The mountains and the views. It's like, stunning. Wow.
Yeah.
But I feel like the track could be improved.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fun track.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, because I mean, you only ran it the one way, so.
Yeah, I actually tested it with the fast layout.
Oh,
I done a test there before I drove last year when they were testing the new track, and I done one lap at the starting line back, and I thought it was actually pretty fun. Like a bit of not back as far. I think it was move forward to what you were saying. That's what they were trying, and I thought it was better that way. To like when it flowed better into. Now it's like you hop the curb, and then you're kind of like holding the steering wheel straight, and then you flick it into the next corner, and it's am I going to go off or am I going to stay on every time? It's, but it's an interesting one.
What do you think would make a perfect track layout, though? Like given control over it, is there like particular things you can pull from other tracks or wherever, and just be like, this is what would make for the best show?
It's probably a track.
I should have got a pen and paper for it.
Yeah,
just Riga.
Yeah, I think it's
that good, huh?
Riga has everything. It has the speed, has the fast transitions,
blind corners,
wall run at the end.
Yeah,
and it's sketchy.
Yeah,
but it's the sickest track in the world.
Yeah,
it's so
the
much
first
fun.
corner, like the straight isn't straight. You see,
yeah,
so like
the corner is like going
curves around out of the shorts,
and then you initiate.
Yeah, it's like a really long right hander into a tighter right hander, basically, and you can't see beyond the first zone.
Yeah,
so like, and you can't see beyond anything really because it's also a crest. Like it's the maddest. It's the maddest track that I like. It's my favorite track by far in Europe. It's very, very cool.
And it's challenging. Even though we've been there many times, every year you have to be alert and awake for it.
But I think it's
the chasing is mad.
But it's kind of one of the only fast tracks where we have really good battles.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the only ones where it works, in my opinion. Like I think Mondello has got a bit better, but for a while Mondello was like, I think there was 1 year from the top 16 on, I think there was 2 battles where we're actually a battle.
Yeah.
It was like a 10-0 every battle. Now I think everyone is starting to figure the cars out and understand that we're going a lot faster, I think. But like when we went to Sweden, it just doesn't flow. It's like the battles are, you watch a final and you're like, that's not a final. There's 6 car lengths between the cars. Like drifting shouldn't be about that, I don't think.
Yeah.
And there's a limit to how fast you can go.
Yeah.
You know, to have good battles.
Yeah.
And I feel like Riga is the limit.
Yeah. But the track still flows good, even though you're going fast, you still have
a good radius to each corner.
Exactly, yeah. It has like, for the speed we're doing, the radius of the corners are like perfect almost. You know, as we're like you're saying in Sweden, we're nearly going the same speed in Sweden. You're not really going much faster than Riga.
But you're gathering a lot more.
The radius is way more, like way less. So you've way less angle through the first corner.
Yeah.
So you're building too much speed for the next part of the track. And then the chase cars, super weird to follow.
Okay.
As we're in Riga, you need, like if you do the fucking, sorry.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You made it this long. What'd you make? Like
that was
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Damn, dude.
That was pretty good.
I think I just lost $10.
Of course.
Now, James almost had one earlier. He caught it though. He caught it.
I just said, well,
No, but if you do the first, like the first 2 corners in Riga, if you do them properly, like you can almost do them flat out, but like you have to be on the perfect angle, and that feels the best as a lead driver. So if you're going against someone, like especially these days, like because qualifying is so good, you know you're going against someone that's going through the first corner on good angle, like lock to lock through the first 2 corners, and then it's obviously a little bit easier to follow when you do that. But it just works out. Like if you nail it, it's like the best. You nearly stop at the second corner, being like, "That's class."
You're done.
Yeah.
And practice is sketchy there as well, because when people are figuring it out, a lot of people will use the handbrake on the transition, and then you're expecting them to be flat out, and they pull the handbrake, and you're flat behind them in the smoke. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and especially with some cars are so grippy on the handbrake, they just stop.
Yeah.
Like, it really slows them down. So, yeah, it's...
I think a big thing is focusing on a good lead run, though.
Yeah.
And I personally don't like the way Formula Drift is right now without qualifying, because I feel like, you know, this conversation came up in the last briefing, I think, and it's like the golden question, like qualifying seating bracket. But it's kind of more like, when I look at it, is like, we go into an event now, and straight off the bat, the chase line's full.
Yeah.
Everyone's pushing, like, oh, I'm going to blow the doors off him. But I personally feel like they're saying, oh, it elevates the level of drifting. I personally feel like it's putting the level of drifting down, the seating bracket, because you're not getting good lead runs anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you look at lead runs now in top 16, top 8, and it's like,
it's
a simple track. Like, why aren't you doing a good lead run? And I feel like now you're kind of missing that portion of the start of the weekend where, for example, in Drift Masters, like we seen this past weekend, somebody's able to score 99 points, really high qualifying scores. So if you don't start the start of the weekend putting in that work to make sure that you have a perfect lead run, you're going to get screwed in qualifying.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like that elevates the level of battles, because you know, if I pull up next to anybody who's in the top 32 in Drift Masters, I know that they're scoring easily over an 85-point run, which in my opinion brings the level of drifting up, not brings the level of drifting down. And I think it makes a huge difference when that's... I even notice now, like, you could be second practice session of Formula Drift practice, and you know by following somebody being like, oh, he hasn't been focused on lead runs at all. And it could be somebody good. It's not that he can't do a lead run, but he's generally being...
It's not a great lead.
He's hyper-focused on making sure that he can do, you know, sick chase runs, which, are great, but you can't do sick chase runs if the lead run is choppy and the lead run is messy a little bit. It kind of... It brings it back a little bit, I think, that I personally feel like we should have something to focus on to score over a high-scored run, you know, and I feel like that elevates every track no matter where we are.
No, it's interesting. I haven't heard that take on it in particular. Because we always say, like, to have a good chase, you need to have a good lead. And you know, this is to try and push better chasing. But we're, I guess, forgetting what makes a great chase in the beginning, and that's a good lead.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But a good lead is more than what looks good, in my opinion. Like,
it's a stable lead.
I've also followed people and been like, I would finish the run and be like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, it's like choppy. It's a little bit like, you know, you can't push, you can't really find the limit. But then you watch the live stream back and he done like...
Exactly.
It looks good.
Yeah.
But he's like kind of cheating it a little bit to make it look good without actually making it flow, you know, and we all have mistakes. Everybody make a mistake every now and again. The lead run has to adjust a little bit more on a left foot brake or something. But I just feel like the rhythm of flow of lead runs is so important. It's like one of the most important parts, because you can't push if the guy's not pushing in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, consistent angle, or if a guy's going to go into a corner, like there's a certain amount, I mean, you found this out, but like a certain amount of angle that's chaseable versus not, and what you need to expect going into that run versus not. Sorry to rub salt in the wood on that one.
That's all right.
But, I figured you were over it already.
I just think it's fluidity is
there
the
could
word.
be bumpers and everything flying here in a minute, Cam, now.
Yeah. I know.
No, I think
you're a fighter bumpers quick release.
Thanks, guys.
So was my one at the weekend, actually.
And the wing.
Yeah. I think the word he's trying to use is fluidity, is what.
Yeah, just steady.
For some reason in drifting these days, people are focusing a lot on the word style. And style is like, it should be removed from briefings because it's so stupid.
Well,
because
it's
the
hard
three
to
of us
explain too.
We have all different styles.
We have three different styles between the three of us. You know what I mean? And like, the three of us can go and win qualifying, you know, or go do a solid lead or go do a savage chase. But the three of us are doing it differently. So like, that's our personal style. I think that word should be removed because it doesn't really make any sense, especially when the head judge or one of the judges is like stuck in the 80s in Japan, and then the other judge is stuck in 2013 FD. You know what I mean? It's so
everyone has a different
everyone has
view
such
on
a view on style, as where they should just be focusing on fluidity. As where, like Connor's saying, if you have someone that can do a very, very good lead run, and even if they are doing a little bit like slappy from the inside, once the fluidity of the car is consistent, they should then get rewarded for doing a good lead run. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you're basically like switch it to line angle fluidity, get rid of the style part, and just like
because like you can't like.
I think impact is a better word.
Yeah, impact.
Like impact on the run when you stand there. When you stand, then you're like, okay, yeah, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure, that's a better word. But
edge,
style is
like
like
LZ's lead run when he in the final. Like if that was a qualifying run, you'd be like I wouldn't be like, geez, he has some style. I'd just been like, wow.
He took a chance. He took a big chance to pull it out.
I'd just been like, wow. Yeah. And then he held fluidity on top of that. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of like. That's very, very impressive to watch, in my opinion.
He took a big risk.
Exactly.
Gigantic risk. Because like,
if
he didn't hit the wall, he wouldn't. If he would have missed the wall, he would have been gone.
Yeah.
That was it. Like he used the wall to get off of it.
But it's just one of those things that just works out. But like, it didn't kill the momentum of the car. Like nothing like that.
It was
just
weird.
Nailed it and got back on it, and it was sweet.
I would almost argue, was it chaseable though?
In briefing, they said it was. So
they did say.
And my other question would be, if he went back to the start line, could he do it again?
I don't know. I mean, if you,
because if I know if I did that,
you struggle to do it a second time.
No, second time I don't.
In practice, we would. In practice, we would. In battles, I don't think so.
He did do it before, years before. But could he do? Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's just on the limit.
Like, that's everything.
And as you said, the wall held him.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even think of trying it.
I honestly saying something.
It would never even cross my mind.
But from talking to him after, I think that he himself thought it might work out, but it did.
He took a chance.
He took a chance.
It's one of those, like, if you miss it, no one's really going to remember that. But if you hit it, you'll never forget it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I get the risk because, worst case, he was taken second.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the cool things about a final battle. Is worst case. Yeah, it was wild.
It was very cool to watch.
It was wild. It is funny that we talked about it on the podium show that we're kind of at this. I hate using the term like games, but people are having to pull out wild shit to win stuff now. I think you guys doing the multiple one more times in Atlanta, there's a bunch of back and forth of who actually won or, not saying you didn't, but like how that all played out. Like, but it's become the point of like everybody's having to do weird, crazy shit just to win battles or even
the difference between driving and practice and battles and FTs blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like drivers will like on purpose not drive as good as they're going to drive in the battle.
Or do a different entry every battle.
Yeah. Like Dylan Hughes in, where were we last week? New Jersey.
It's all blending together.
He, like in practice, not once did he do a good chase run, like good entry on chase run.
Yeah.
And it's like he done it on purpose. And then when he was battling me, like probably had the best chase entry of the day.
Of the weekend.
You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
And
it was great. It was tucked right in.
It was spot on. Yeah. Like I'm not taking it away from him.
Yeah.
But
where was that all practice?
In practice, he didn't even. It's like he done what Adam done in the final. He just wristed, and it paid off. But he would have never done that in practice. You know what I mean? Because then he would have been showing his cards, and it's like,
I think that's just different. Different driver opinion, different way of growing up a little bit.
Sure,
like I also agree with you. Like one more time in Formula Drift is like getting another driver.
Yeah.
Like for example, if I go one more time with James or I go one more time with Jack, we might dial the cars up maybe a small bit, but the battle is going to elevate.
Yeah.
And I feel like
the only reason something's going to change is if one of us makes a
mistake. But I personally feel like in Formula Drift, the mistake in the one more time is a little bit more common. Like I have been in one more time situations with people, and I would do the first run with them, then we would go back to do the one more time, and their lead run initiation is like,
totally different.
Yeah,
where are you going? You're going to the whole other side of the track, and you're like, what? Okay, fine. You want to have a small % be better, but I'm just like, I personally wouldn't think like that. I would just be like, I want to give you a good lead
for me,
and I think that kind of comes down to a little bit more of where the consistency comes from, because in my opinion, the consistency comes from my best lead run of the weekend. That's what I'll do. Probably dial back even maybe 5% compared to a qualifying run. But that's what I plan on doing for the whole rest of the weekend. And I never even would think about changing it because I personally think I would mess up myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Interesting.
That's the way I've approached most of my career. It's like good lead runs.
Yeah.
And
Make
keep
sure
it
you
that
can
way.
always pull that off and then judge your chase off what you need to do from your lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get that lead completely dialed, the chase is like, okay, I just have to do that, just a little bit off, a little bit less angle, and that's my clipping point. Like that's all it is that person.
That's the thing, is that like, it's like we were going back to like our line driving from before. It's almost our weakness. Because in practice,
It is.
100%.
Yeah,
in practice,
yeah.
we go out and we show exactly what we can do.
Yeah.
And
From
then
probably the first lap.
From the first lap, yeah.
A few times,
Yeah. Like in New Jersey, like I probably would have won practice because I was flat out, cards on the table, like whatever. And then, you know, you have drivers like they're holding it back until they know they have to use it.
Is that
And it's
a
like-
symptom of like just how good spotters have gotten now, where spotters are such a keen tool where you're going like a spotter can tell you this is exactly what's going on. So drivers are having to like throw shit around because if not, then they're doing that.
I'd be very disappointed if I went down and practiced and drove like not like flat out.
Yeah.
And then get knocked out top 22 because you've had a terrible week in the driving then.
Yeah, that's
You know what
fair.
I mean?
I think some of it has to be on the judges as well, where they're telling us what to do. They want us to do a 100-point lead run. I know that doesn't often happen, but you're doing your best. And if you are making mistakes or doing weird stuff, you should be called out on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you're doing weird stuff or trying different things every battle, like, why are you doing that?
I think
Yeah.
it's a hard one because if you look at Drift Masters practice, not comparing the two or comparing
It's kind of
drivers,
this whole podcast,
but
yeah, go on.
it's like I personally feel like you see runs in practice where you're like, holy, like that's nuts. Like you're taking such a risk. Like I've done it even this weekend. I done a run of practice and I'm like, Jesus, that was fairly silly. Like could have went completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I honestly think for the level of drifting, like going back to the same point about changing the initiation, small things like that, I don't think I could approach an event holding back. Think I would probably mess myself up in the end. But also I think it kind of brings the whole level a little bit like, I'm not saying down, but a little bit more like, wow, where did that come from? Whereas I think in Drift Masters, you can really like look at a practice lap and, you know, I could go and watch James or Jack and say, Jesus, he's on it today. You know, and I know that he's on it.
Yeah, it's tough because like I don't see it behind the wheel, but I see it from up in the tower. And I've picked drivers out early where in practice they're just crushing it. I'm like they're gonna do well. So it's tough because I see your side of it, but I also see from the top down, and I'm like, man, I feel like I can pick drivers out pretty quick in practice and go, they're gonna make top 8 for sure. You know, or if you look at who they're battling, and then you're like, oh, for sure they're gonna make, you know, top 16, if not top 8, depending on more or less who comes up. But I don't know. I always try to look. I never. This is a bad phrase for this, but like, never attribute to malice when ignorance will suffice. So never think someone's being an asshole if they're just dumb. And I'm not calling the drivers dumb, but what I'm saying is like, is there
You insulted them, not us.
Yeah, I know. No, but is there a setup
You better
thing?
not be talking about us.
No, you're right. The bumper's staying on.
Yeah.
But are they still trying to find setup? Are the cars in FD now so mechanically twitchy that it's not that they're trying to change up from practice? It's just like it might take until the end of practice to actually get an initiation that works with their current setup. Because the other part too that we don't talk about is a lot of drivers are rotating through tires. Like tire brands are circulating pretty quickly. There's drivers that rotate in and out. And I have an idea of the 10 or so drivers you guys are talking about. And I think about that and go, they were on a completely different tire last year or a different chassis last year, or they don't have a team that's like really solid that's giving them the notes to set up their car properly. So they're coming into this event, they're thinking it's going to be set up like their old car or their old tire. And now they're like, shit, that initiation's just not working because I don't have the sidewall, I don't have the grip or whatever. So that's where my head goes, is just like immediately, I would love to say, yeah, these guys are playing games and they're trying stupid shit. But then I go, I've been in those teams and sometimes it's like, I can't initiate that way anymore. I have to do this now. And you may not figure it out until the last lap.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah.
Bit of a defense, but it's also like, I'm trying to, I would like to understand the same thing. And just maybe they are playing games. I don't know.
But if it's motorsport, so if there's no rule against what they're doing, they're not doing anything wrong.
yeah.
So
Nobody's
But how do you judge that?
we're just like,
Speculating.
I know, like, if I'm doing practice, line up with you or you, it's like you're smiling, like,
Yeah,
you're
fun
like,
to
this-
look at.
if this is just going to be fun,
Yeah.
because it's going to be
You're
straight
very
up,
flat
good
out, yeah.
line, good entry.
Yeah.
If it works out, it's going to be.
It'll be
you know,
sick, yeah.
Great videos, there,
Yeah, but
whatever.
you've all been driving together for 10 plus years.
100%.
Yeah, yeah,
but
so-
then the style of driving is very readable. And as
Yeah.
you said, our biggest weakness might be the consistency of putting down a sick lead
from the
because
get-go,
you can chase that really hard and take a chance, and like there's no slowing through transitions or random stuff.
Yeah, like what I see it as an issue is because the car I'm in FD is like I'm changing the setup of my car between practice laps, and it's never actually been perfect, you know?
Right.
And I'll still send it in the exact same as I will in my top 16 or top 32 or whatever. Not top 16, I haven't made it that far yet, but top 32, I'll still send it in the same way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't like, and that's why I go on the defense of like, we're all really good drivers. And no matter how some engineer guy sets up your car, you should be able to flick it in fairly hard and drive on the same as you would in a battle. That's where my mind goes.
But if I asked everybody that chased you in a weekend, would they say the same thing?
Probably, unless I was off the track or something. Don't ask Dylan
that's
Hughes.
happened.
Don't ask Dylan Hughes because for some reason Dylan Hughes watches another driver in practice and then gives out about my lead runs. But other than that,
but that's what I'm saying. Like I think there's an Irish style. I mean, you guys all three have different styles, but you talked about it. Like lead is just paramount over, or your line and lead is paramount over everything else. Whereas I think if you look at like some of the California drivers, it's slower cars, big angle, like long sweeping transitions. And you get two of those drivers together and you watch them drive. You're like, shit, this is really good because you have two styles that match each other. But if we don't have a definitive, like this is what style should be, this is how we judge style.
Oh yeah, and that's what we're saying is that like we're like on the defense of like, we're not asking everyone to do the exact same thing, but it's just the fact that there's a difference between
this run and that run.
This run and that run. Yeah. Like, because like we obviously don't go out and practice and nail practice from get-go to the end of practice because we do one transition where like, oh, it might work better if we do it a little bit later or whatever, but it's still not going to be in the way of like thinking that it's going to mess up the chase car. We're always in the way of thinking this is going to like look better or feel better. You know what I mean? So like it's not in the way of like...
It's not malicious.
Yeah. We're changing it to try improve our lap like by even driving harder. Or like if we're maybe...
Find more speed to do
or
it,
even
or smoother or whatever.
Or you might be going too hard in a section where you're like flashing the tires too fast where you have to like roll into it a bit more, you know? So that's where our approach is from, I think. And I think we're on the same idea.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, the take on is different. Is different just because there's a consensus here that I've never had before, right? Where you guys all came to the same program on the same tracks, driving against the same drivers. And there's a consistent, more or less, opinion. I'm not trying to group you all together, but it's just interesting because I've heard people from different parts of the country complain about other different drivers from other parts of the country. And to caveat this as well, even now being within Drift Masters, I hear drivers complain about different drivers from different countries and all that stuff. So it's no different there as it is here.
It's normal, 100%. Even like in practice, you know, people leaving the line early and things like that, so you don't get a chase in them. That's very frustrating. And it happens,
that's interesting.
Happens both sides.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's just trying to happen.
This first light goes out and they're gone.
Yeah.
Wasn't even in gear.
Pulling a car out in lineup so that way you don't have to battle a person and pull that back in.
It actually takes a lot of work to get a good lead run in practice.
Yeah.
And when you pull to the starting line and they do something wacky, it's the most frustrating thing in the world.
It's very frustrating.
Because you have your mechanic on the radio for like 10 minutes. Who am I going to follow? Who am I going to follow? Who am I going to follow?
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, yes. And then the run doesn't go together and you're just like, oh my God. Now we just wasted a whole other 25 minutes trying to get back in the queue. And that's frustrating, especially when you're trying to push, you know. But I guess it's normal that people are competitive and think different and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you're all very competitive individuals to say the least.
It is just funny though, like when... Like I've never not wanted to give somebody a good lead run in practice. You know, I've always been like I've always been even thinking, you know, you might not have done a very good first lead run, and you go to the line for your second lap, and you're nearly thinking, I probably should have went to the chase lane because I'm not doing it perfect yet. But you're like, I prefer just to have clear vision. And then someone pulls next to you who you know is going to push hard, and you're like, Jesus, like I hope I do this properly.
You almost feel bad.
You're nearly thinking like, oh, like what if I flick in now, like in a snapped angle too fast, and I slow down too much, or you know, like my brain is like that. Like then I feel like a dick basically when I go back to the pits. I'm like, I'm like he thinks I'm after screwing him now. You know, and it's purely just because you just haven't figured out what you want to do yet, basically. But
I mean, that sounds a lot like a driver changing the entry every run.
yeah, no, look, that's me, Mr. Inconsistent.
It's like me almost shouting at him at the start of the week and first lap practice, like, yeah, I get to follow Jack and he does the worst lead of the weekend. And I'm like, are you actually fucking serious?
Yeah.
And he comes back and is like, don't know what happened. And I'm like,
It's probably follow me anyway.
it's probably the only chase I would
Yeah,
got.
no, like as in
My
at the
first
weekend,
true was 60 feet in through the grass.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
but I was 16.
Wasn't
Were you
expecting that.
actually?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even
Out
know
by
that.
the railing.
Oh my God, I
I
didn't
don't
even
know
know
what
that.
speed I entered at, but it was
fast.
way too fast.
It was wild. Yeah, the car had no side bite whatsoever. Just disappeared, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, first lap in the Mustang in Mondello.
Yeah. In front of the home crowd.
Family watching. Like, I can't wait. This
Looked great.
Yeah. They said it sounded unreal though, because
it's-
I was
Dude,
absolutely.
fans were losing it. People were going mad. I was out there for those first practice runs. It was great. It was so much fun.
That's
Right
funny.
back to the drawing board.
yeah, that's funny.
Oh, that
Yeah.
wasn't on purpose. That
Yeah.
was a genuine mistake.
Yeah, me and Conor done. Remember on the Saturday morning we had to do lead and chase. So I
Yeah.
chased Conor first. He gave me mint lead like as usual, and I was like, chase wasn't great. And then I went back to the start line. I was like, right, I better flick it in hard here now. And like,
I was on the bumper, like
Flicked.
I knew it was going to be the only chase I was going to get that morning.
yeah, flicked in
And
way
then
too
I
hard.
was just like, what?
And like went through the grass on the inside, like 2 wheels in the grass, and I'm like, he's gonna go mad. We went back to the pits, and he's like, "What are you at?" Like, it's like, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
It's kind of funny when those, you know, it actually is crazy when you have an amazing first day and you wake up the next morning and you think like it's just gonna click straight away.
Yeah.
And I've often done those first lap and that next morning, and I would often say to myself like,
What's
what
going on?
is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like you would generally say to yourself like, did I actually get up out of the wrong side of the bed? It doesn't make any sense, you know. And
Yeah.
you're on rails the day before, and then that first lap sometimes is like makes no sense. It just
Yeah.
didn't work.
Or
Car
else when you
feels
do your first lap and it's class,
yeah.
and you're like, sure, we're away now.
No,
today.
it gets harder.
sign
And
of
then
a
you do your second lap, and you're like, oh, like
sign of a bad weekend.
who was driving the first? Who drove the
Yeah.
first lap?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
I-
like you're ultra focused or something in your first lap.
It's super weird. I followed Peter first lap practice on Saturday, and like it was probably the best chase I've done in Mondello in a while. Like first corner, everything mint, and then done my second run, and like forgot what I was doing, like completely on my lead. As in, I was like, didn't even make any zone nearly, like. And I was like, hang on. I was like, can we recalibrate this or something? Like, what's wrong? It was so weird, like very, very odd. But
Yeah, how do you reset like that? Like I think all three of you guys have had weird seasons in a couple of different scenarios, but like how do you give your head a shake and be like, okay, let's just do it again. Like let's start over.
Like
I'm still shaking it.
at that same event, or you mean in
No,
between
just
events?
in general. Like I mean, you had a weird early out this event. I mean, Jack's had a rough start to the season. Connor's not quite on the same trajectory he was last season in FD. Not to like just shit on three phenomenal drivers in one sentence, but I don't know. I don't know how you go into that and then just like, oh, okay, well, on to the next event. Like, let's just figure it out.
Yeah, I guess you just kind of have to take a step back and try to look at the full picture and like, is it, try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Is it a simple mistake that happened? Is it something deeper? Sometimes just sleeping on things helps. But
Evaluate.
yeah, like you're on the limit, and a mistake, you're this far away from a mistake all the time.
Yeah.
So if it happens, I think we're all pretty harsh on ourselves when we mess up because we expect better and we know we can be better than that. But you have to try not to be too harsh on yourself.
Here's what I need you to do right now. Just for if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a very specific thing to YouTube. I need you to go to the share function, and there's gonna be a little button at the bottom that says mark at this timestamp or share at this timestamp. So you're gonna share at that timestamp. Okay, you ready? Hi, your friend has shared this with you because they would like some FD merch, but don't worry, I'm gonna save you some money. You may know me, you may not know me. It doesn't matter. The point is, if somebody is sharing this with you, they want you to buy them FD merch. It's probably a holiday or their birthday, or they got a raise, or they were able to make, most of the drift season without completely demoing their car. I don't know what it is, but the point is they want you to buy them FD merch, and I want you to use podcast25 at checkout, and you get to save 20%. You can use that 20% to get them a cool card. You could use it to buy yourself some matching merch. How cute would that be? So right now, go to formuladrift.com, check out the merch. Make sure to use podcast25 at checkout. Do it.
Do you like give yourself 24 hours? Be like, I'm going to be a dick to myself for this one day. And then after that, it's back. It's just, let's go back and fix it.
I don't even think it lasts that long. Not for me personally.
No.
It's usually like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you're like,
Whatever. Just grab a beer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like...
It is what it is, because like...
I think as James said that like we're on the limit, like before I used to get way worse. Like after, like it would have been a week. And I'm still watching back videos being like,
Really?
what the hell are you doing?
Jeez.
And now I'm just like, you know what, like we're so close, as you said, to messing up every time that when you do mess up or whatever, you're like, it's like just tipping a foot, like, you know, it's like walking the straight line and then you put 1 foot off. Like we don't have room to put 1 foot off ever. As we're like, in any other motorsport. Yeah. But like exactly, like any other motorsport, people can make mistakes and still get back into it.
Have a big comeback, like from a spin or whatever.
Or a mistake.
Or not even that, just like missing
back.
an apex and being like 2/10 off.
It
It's
is.
like, I'll make it back in the next lap.
Yeah.
It
like,
is.
exactly,
It is crazy.
We have to make our mistake in practice.
Yeah.
Because we make the mistake while we're being criticized for every mistake we make, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Like straight away. So it's
And you also have lots of people telling you screwed.
yeah. So
You know, no. In general,
Like,
in
geez,
general,
I'm
you
right
know,
here.
you can't escape that.
Yeah.
You never can escape the like. I
online.
think when you do other forms of motorsport was probably the biggest. Like Jack's probably experienced when I done some rallying, and I sat or my navigator is a very experienced navigator who sits with somebody who's like on the limit every stage, and they have moments where it's like, oh my god, that could not even come home, you know. And when I done the rally, he was very surprised like how much composure I had in the car. Even when we started to push and get close to good times, he was like, you're not even heavy breathing. You're just kind of like, it's just going. And but it comes back to the same thing. You late brake into a junction and you know in your head like, oh, I lost 2 seconds there. But you know, like you still have like 15 kilometers where you're on the door handles.
to pick it up.
And that feeling is crazy because like I was explaining to my navigator, Andy, I was like, in a drift car, you see that junction where we wash wide, we're gone home.
Yeah,
we're in the trailer. We're in the trailer already.
Stop there.
Yeah.
And he found that like, you know, he never dived much into drifting. I think actually this weekend was his first ever drift event.
Oh, cool.
But he was like, that's crazy. Like he was very surprised of like actually when I said that to him, he was like, that's kind of reality, that it is true. And I think that's something what people forget is that it is on the limit for 30 seconds. And if you make one mistake, you're done.
Trailer,
and especially now with the level.
Yeah.
Like you're battling somebody in the top 32 and if you're not perfect, you're going home. It's like, what the heck? Like it's doesn't really make much sense, but I guess that's the good part about the sport when it goes right.
Yeah. When you get a win, you definitely
you
earn
deserve. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that probably is the best, like the bittersweet thing. That when you do know that you win the event, like
you won it.
You know you've fairly earned it. Like,
and when I like, you know, for sure people have luck on their sides and they get lucky wins sometimes.
Yeah,
I've had them myself many times. But I feel like you sometimes kind of have to, you know, I've often seen drivers win and I hate to be that guy being like, oh, he kind of had it handy today, you know, but you do say that sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you kind of look at the bigger picture and say, well, he was kind of better than whatever was thrown against him.
Yeah.
Whether it was better team, making sure that his car ran better than anybody else, or it was a little bit better just to get him through. He's still done enough not to make a bigger mistake than anybody else to win the event. So I think you still have to be like, yeah, there's a luck involved, but I feel like there's a level of doing it better than anybody else that you're against that day, basically.
That's a good way of putting it.
And there's also all the other events where that driver that might have got lucky got absolutely shafted.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
It tends to balance out.
Yeah.
It seems like it doesn't feel like it, but I think it balances out.
You have. I've definitely had both sides of the coins, and I often say to myself, even after a lucky day, being like, damn, like that could have been complete other way.
Get ready for a rough event after this.
Yeah.
I just cashed out the luck on this one.
Yeah. That's when you know you're like clinching like oh, we're goose now next time. Yeah. Now when you have a really lucky event, you know there's a bad one coming.
Yeah. You got to be braced for it.
Maybe you might deserve it the next time and it's just taken away because you got lucky. Exactly. Everyone knows it. They're like, oh, what did he do that time?
Yeah.
No, it's a weird sport that way. Like it really is just the worst parts of so many motorsports. Like drag racing to me is one of the only motorsports where like if you even have a moment where you screw up, it's over. The race is over, right? Like if you miss the tree by whatever, 2/10, it's over. That could be the whole race right there. And there's no recovery in a drag race. I'm sure there's like times, and same thing with drifting. There's still times where you can make a mistake and you still get lucky. Something else happens, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot like that, and it's more precise than almost any other motorsport.
Yeah.
What other motorsport, like F1? You look at them coming through Monaco, and it's like they're grazing the wheels on it, and that's like one shot, and they're like everyone's losing their mind, and it's like we have 30 drivers that are doing that 4 or 5 times a lap, and like it still doesn't get the same hype. We just expect it now, where it's like, no, you need to be dragging bumper every single time. Imagine you said that to an F1 driver. You're like, hey, every corner for an entire day, I need you rubbing the edge of that wing on the wall for every lap. Yeah. Or if you don't, you're going to lose. That's basically what we're asking you guys. But you're doing it without traction.
Yeah.
So it's really dumb. Like in the grand scheme of sports, like it's the most ridiculous motorsport there is.
It's weird though, that feeling that you get when you're really like in the zone at an event.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
It's just so natural. You're not even thinking about where the back bumper is.
No.
You just know you're on it.
Yeah.
You're skimming it.
Is
you
crazy.
know that's the limit, and you're not looking at what you just touched. You're looking 80, 100 feet away or more.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is a bit mad. Like, I feel like obviously every other form of motorsport, people are always looking ahead. Like, speaking from experience from rallying, like you're never really focusing on the corner you're in. You're focusing on the next one. But like at that, you've got a lot of grip with you, and you're not really going very fast or doing anything where the car could just do anything. As we're in drifting, you're like in Mondello, you're nearly thinking about mobile one before you're thinking about anywhere else. Like, like from when you flick, you're not thinking about the first 2 zones. And if you are, you're going to do them terribly. You know what I mean? Like, as you're saying, when you have that like clear vision of a lap, you actually don't think about the lap at all. Like, it just happens.
Yeah, that mindset.
And you get to the end of it, and you're
scary.
like, that's the one. Like, you're like, that's the one. And it's a weird feeling to explain to people, really, because it sounds
You've just
a bit,
been in a flow. As
it sounds
like
a bit
rallying,
mental.
you're in a flow.
Everything's
And that's
going.
it.
Yeah, it just sounds a bit mental, like when you say it out loud, because you're like,
It's hard to explain.
you're like, you're not really in it.
I think
it just happens.
I think a lot of people have got it just in different ways. You guys just happen to do it this way. Like, I mean, as weird as it sounds, like just you driving here, you guys are having I know it's weird to you, but to me that scared the shit out of me. I was being very calm in the back seat. You're going.
We'd have to give him a right spin home.
Please don't. No, but like.
I'll follow you just to make sure.
Just to see.
Some
But
lights in the mirror.
It was honestly driving from just spending the last week in Ireland, driving around in a rental, just between the cities and the crazy intersections and everything else. The driving you have to do day to day here is so different than anything in the US that anybody's experienced. Like, I grew up on a rural road, which is pretty tight and windy, and like that's what I drove every day. And this is just absolutely heads and tails above that. But that is your day to day, that you're commuting in these things where we came around a completely blind corner. There's a white Audi SUV. Both vehicles should not have fit. You came down to 70 and you guys just went right by each other like it was nothing. And there was this much on either side. And that is absolutely nothing to you guys.
Yeah.
And to anybody in the US, they're shitting their pants because I was in the backseat and I wasn't even driving. But I really honestly do think that has a large part to play in your vehicle awareness, because you guys have a level of vehicle awareness that is just not human to me.
The only thing though is we all started competing before we ever drove a car in the street.
Yeah, that's true.
fair. That's fair. But I
But I
don't
also-
know.
Driving on the street is very boring for us.
Apparently.
Very boring.
Can't say on camera how it's fun, but
Allegedly. You just say allegedly and like everything goes away. But I don't know. It's
But
just,
I also think a big part is that we kind of, all of us, I think we would all agree that we kind of grew up half mad, to be honest. Like,
I would say completely mad.
like I've wrecked some things and like, and I think that's, honestly, that's a huge part of it. Like I see, working with different drivers and talking to different drivers, like I can like, you can almost get the sense of like, oh, this fella's a lunatic. Like, and you just know, like you just, it, like the way McKeever's a prime example, like the man is a nut chop.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like
There's no fear.
If he
No
came,
fear,
if he came in here with a trike, we were all sitting here drinking a beer and having a chat, like he would do something impressive. You just not even trying, where it's just like, man, like, and I feel like that's honestly, in my opinion, that's a major part of especially what we do is like having kind of the no fear, a little bit of like a wildness kind of.
I think we misbehaved incorrectly. You know what I mean? Like we didn't do anything bold or like we weren't criminals, you know?
No,
but
exactly.
It's pretty lucky you fell into this.
We were like getting in trouble by our parents by like, you know,
doing donuts
in the yard in a car. That shouldn't be doing donuts. You know what I mean? Like
burnout or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
But I think there's also that little, you know, like if we put a cone in the middle, if we had a crazy cart and we put a cone in the middle of the garage and the three of us were to go around the cone, we're secretly kind of thinking in our head like, I done it better than him. I personally am in a way. Yeah. And I personally feel like that's a huge, that comes back to the whole time of like growing up with, you know, good people, having really good people around you. And I personally feel like there's a lot of people don't experience that, I guess, until a little bit later in life. Like when they start to have competition. Whereas I personally think I had competition from the minute I ever done anything. Like me and Jack, no matter what we drove, it was always a race.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a huge part of like what people don't really see is that there's a lot of like day-to-day things, as you said, driving a car on the street, doing those normal things.
Yeah.
They play a huge part of what you do in as your life, I think.
Me and Conor used to have scooter races around the kitchen and absolutely wreck each other.
Yeah,
just to win the race.
each other open.
Like as in like you'd be sore for a week.
Yeah.
You know? And you had to win the race. Like it was like there was 100,000 euros on the line.
Yeah.
But it was like, nah.
I remember the field drifting and stuff, or racing even in the field.
Yeah, racing the field is a good one.
Yeah.
Like we
scrap cars and you'd be absolutely
as hard as
dangerously flat out.
When they first cut the field and there's bales in the field, that's when it's good crack because first lap of the field there's always going to be two bales that are like fairly close together and you're like, I wonder can I go through there flat out. And like you nail, like I remember I did it one time, first lap in the field, and like I know the field very well, but like obviously it's
the bales move every year.
The bales move every year, you know. And there's like two bales next to each other and you like drive past it once and you're like, we'll try to do that now at 90 miles an hour. And then you just go through and there's not even a scrape on the car, but two wing mirrors missing. And that is, like, honestly, that's like doing a 100-point qualifying run, in my opinion. Like, it's class.
That feeling, yeah.
It's unreal. So, like, and that happens every summer with us. Like, the minute the field is cut, like, we always go for a spin. Yeah. Just like old times. Just like old times.
Remember the day, I don't know, was it you or you, but I was in, your dad gave me a car to drive around the field.
The Mazda thingy.
Yeah, I ended up spinning out and I go over the jump, down the crest, down the hill.
And
the back of the car was nearly out on the road.
Yeah.
Like it just went straight through the ditch.
The same day my dad hit a bale and landed like half out in the road and half in the field.
Yeah.
But their dad would drive like however fast we go, he would try to find a way to go faster.
He'd have to go double, like,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And just take a wild chance.
Yeah. Just to show that he can still do better, like.
And he's still the same.
Yeah. No, 100. I've seen it. He's a wild human being.
But there's no better feeling when you kind of have that little bit of like, like that feeling where like, I kind of done something not that you shouldn't do, but you're like, that
right
was
on the
class.
edge.
Yeah, you know not many else would do it. Like
you're looking to see if anybody's seen you. Like when you get out of the car, you're like, oh Jesus, that was fair risky, you know. And I feel like we're all like that. I personally get a good thrill out of something like that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think the field is definitely where our like social or like spacious awareness comes from. Like you know, because we're just constantly trying not to crash in the field, basically.
Yeah.
So it's.
I'm just trying to figure it out. It makes it shouldn't be. You guys shouldn't be as good as you are in such a tight group. It does not make sense. We always joke about the water. I'm probably just going to fill a water bottle and bring it home.
Start selling
the kids.
Yeah, splash the kids. Just be like, come here, you need greatness on you.
Drift water.
Drift water. You should bottle that. I mean, just bottle it and sell it. A little stand.
We've never washed in the black water, like, so I don't think the water has anything to do with it.
No.
Like, so, yeah.
But it's kind of not just us, though. I think there's a good other group of people around
this.
That's
what I mean. You
like,
guys just...
Like, Even Flow is a good example. Like, that man, he's mad. But like,
he is mad.
But when you see him do stuff, you're like, he's skilled.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much skill, you know?
But again, he's always been playing around in cars,
Mad,
up on the mountain roads, and they have land, they have fields, and car control. I think just there's so many farms in Ireland too, and everybody's friend in school has a farm, and they have a car, and you go to their field, you're sliding around.
What you do.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do.
Before I started drifting, I was always doing donuts in farmers' yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a slab of concrete, a few cones, and
that's the
you're
other
just
part.
you're
Yeah.
just drifting around.
I think the big slab of concrete's the other part too, is that every farm's got that where the equipment sits, and like if the equipment's gone, it's just like I got this giant skid pad I can just go and rip around on.
Yeah.
And I think driving machinery is a big thing. Like we see, like there's a
It's
kid,
huge vehicle awareness.
he lives across the road from James O'Magner, and like grew up on a farm, and like straight away from when he first ever jumped in a car, you could see he was like, he had very good control. Like
but again, bought a BMW and started drifting around his farm,
and he was very good.
And now he's very good.
Fields,
And I think that's a big difference when they have big spatial awareness of use. Like Jack Caldwell, Ryan Caldwell's brothers, like driving a 50-ton machine every day. He's like 14 years of age, and like the spatial awareness he has, you can tell that like he's doing something every day what's kind of giving him a little bit of work towards that, I would say. So I think that's a big thing as well.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you would like to see go pro that just hasn't been given up the opportunity? Like, is there somebody in Ireland right now that you're watching driving, like if that person just had the funding or the ride or something like that, they would jump into pro and just decimate people?
Do you mean like pro drift masters or FD?
Either one. I mean, just as a pro driver,
I think
it's an FD podcast. We should probably
Harry Kerr fairly proved himself at the weekend.
I would agree.
Like, we obviously drive with Harry a lot, and he's a good friend of ours, and like
He's natural driver,
to do what he done at the weekend in that car.
And he's the definition of mad. Like full mad.
Like,
that car was only 600 horsepower or something
650, but like
diesel gearbox,
M3 diff.
Really?
Like,
so like crazy tall gears and stuff in it.
One-way coilovers, like just
a simple basic machine.
It's kind of like it's even, to be honest, a lower level IDS Pro car.
It's like a Pro-Am car, really,
Yeah, like
in
Ireland, he also can't afford to run the good fuel, so he puts it back on pump fuel and has like 500 horsepower. So like, it's I think if there's anybody at the moment who is really proving himself that like he can do what we're doing, it's him. So like it's and I know for a fact that he doesn't have the funding to do it, so he needs to pick up something to make it happen, basically. But I would say,
I think he's like kind of put in the work also.
Yeah, exactly. He practices a lot.
He's drove, like, I remember when I was driving a lot, like, I was driving nearly every weekend, probably sometimes twice a week. He was with us every time.
Yeah.
You know, he was basically in Scotland with us every time, and you could tell that, like, he wasn't
jumping.
And he wasn't just driving the car just to come in and laugh about it.
Like,
he was also the guy who was like, I definitely can do it better than you. You know, he was always pushing, and we do a winter championship in Scotland, like, and me and Jack often talk about this. We would go to a winter championship where we just finished a season of driving Drift Masters, and we
nearly have a tougher challenge.
We literally like would say to each other sometimes, being like, "What?" Like, you know, stock 328 BMWs, road tires, nothing crazy, just like simple cars. And like, I have often battled a guy in the top 8 who I just generally didn't know. And I'd be sitting there waiting for the result, being like, "Oh, sure, handy win here," and next thing the flag would go to him. And I'm after doing a good chase run. So I'm like, and then I watched the video back, and I think that's a prime example of like somebody like Harry is like, he, I guess, became almost dominant in the winter cars. He did. Like, he became a person where like, I almost kind of was like, I don't even want to go to the winter series because he's going to destroy us. And that's facts, because he was driving them so much. He knew the ins. He knew every limit of how good those cars were and how he could make it work. So,
no, it's impressive. It's cool. I think that's obviously why we're fairly good as well, is because we can drive absolute shit boxes like really well.
We have way more fun.
Way more fun. Like when we go practicing in the 350s and stuff, like the driving that we do is like insane. Like, honestly, like
cars are just wedged up against each other, and somehow they come back for a transition and they're three cars wedged again.
Like some of the best driving that we've done in the last 2 or 3 years, I would say, is in the Z's.
Nobody sees it.
And nobody sees it. Like, nobody. Like,
it's almost on purpose.
We come home from the day.
It's not work anymore. It's just that's just fun.
Exactly. But like, we go there to practice for like muscle memory.
But
and stuff.
It is so much fun.
Yeah,
we get out of the cars just laughing.
Like we usually go drifting, and then we come home and get takeaway, and we just chill eating pizza, and we're just like, how do we survive today? You know, like, it's that mental, and we're like, what the hell? It's mad.
That's key, though. Like, still loving the sport. I think a lot of people get burnt out because they're so focused on just like, I want to be pro, and all they do is drive their pro cars, and it's like, you forgot to love the sport still.
No, I think if I didn't have those practice cars and practice days and stuff, I probably would have fell out of it like a lot more than what I am at the moment. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be definitely not in it this deep still, I'd say. Like, not a hope. Because...
What do you guys think of competing in 2 full championships in a year?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard when it's like a seesaw. One's amazing and one's terrible. It's not about the championship. That's not what I mean. They're both great. I'm not talking about
you mean your
my own
results.
program.
Your results, yeah.
I'm kind of flipped the other way now. It's looking good in FD and not great here.
And I'm just Shanahan bottom, so sweet. Good to go.
No, there's
it
2.5 seasons there yet.
It is tiring. Like, it's weird. You asked me this, I think, like, before New Jersey, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm grand. And then the week in New Jersey happened, and I was like, what is going on?
We're halfway through.
Yeah. Like,
for all,
so we
all three of us, all 4 of us.
We've won full seasons done.
Yeah.
Full season.
Yeah, you've done a full
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
We're halfway.
And we've done a lot more travelling for that one season compared to what other people will do for their single of each.
We still have demos and shows and other stuff outside of that. Like, it's...
Yeah, no, it is. It's definitely a lot more of a task than I thought it was going to be, you know. So
it's got to be a logistical nightmare. Just even flights and arranging things and getting shit set up on either side. Like, I know it's a little different. James got I mean, there's still logistics of getting around and stuff. You don't have to worry as much about moving rigs and things, but still, I mean, I guess all 3 of you guys have something set up for that. But either way, you're still, when do I have to show up? When do I have to be here? Got to get that. Make sure you're at airports, get cars parked, all that stuff. Like, it sounds mundane and kind of bullshit, but all those things add up at the end of the year. Really. You know,
for sure.
No, it's
people. I personally think, like, if you don't have everything running perfect, like, it's like
doesn't work.
It's just another frustration.
Yeah, I think, for example, like, for me, Drift Master Championship is perfect, but I haven't have to do anything. Like, Jack is
because
doing,
I do it.
Jack is doing a good job, but I know for sure if I had to take more of responsibility, for sure the responsibility there is making sure that the bills are paid. But if I had to worry about that stuff, I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, I can't. I already have to do it in America now, and obviously that's a lot of work to build that team. But like, it kind of comes down, I think, to like having good support, good people, and making sure that it's then. I feel like it's a little bit easier. It's still hard, but it's like it's challenging for sure. But I think you probably know the question. Like, you have to almost find different ways to keep loving the sport, in my opinion. Like, you know that probably more than anybody.
Yeah, you've done this a lot more years than we have.
I always felt like a new challenge always excited me.
Yeah.
And then that's what I kind of did this year with the Mustang and in Drift Masters. And then I'm like, wow, I really get myself challenged.
But you're kind of still enjoying. It's like another.
It's just, I know it's going to come right.
Yeah.
And when it does, it's going to feel, sweet.
Yeah.
It just takes time. Like, we're basically setting a car up in front of 15,000 people every weekend.
Yeah.
And that is stressful, but it's really enjoyable when you pull off a result.
Yeah.
It's also with a smaller team and less resources, and given almost the exact same car.
Yeah.
Right? Like, RTR.
The setup is unrelated to completely car.
Really, completely different.
Unrelated.
Interesting.
Because the tire is so different.
Yeah.
Same equipment under the car? Just
pretty
the
much
actual...
same equipment, yeah.
Okay. Without getting, into specifics, but then, you have to run a completely different alignment and suspension setup and things like that.
But it's fun finding the balance.
Yeah.
Even though we had a terrible result in Mondello Park, I actually learned more about the car that weekend on a track that I know, and I know how a car should feel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where what we learned from there, I feel a lot better going into the second half of the season with.
It's beneficial information. Like,
No, it's fun though. But I feel like that's it. Like, if I kept just using an S chassis for the rest of my days, like it's just so repetitive.
We've got 3 different chassis and different engine packages and just
and that's why I always tried something new, is because it's I'm drifting a long time. I think I'm drifting 18 years this September, I think.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Crazy,
so if you ran the same car for all of that, you'd be getting quite bored.
Yeah.
And that's
especially when the car is so good.
Yeah.
It's not like you were driving a bad body, like, you know what I mean?
It's one everything possible.
It's one everything, like, so. It's like,
trying something else now.
But I kind of enjoy that question of like finding different ways to, like, people probably are looking now and being like, for sure my situation is a seesaw. But I'm still kind of like enjoying, it's annoying, because I know for sure I can have the results in FD as well. But it's kind of like, it's just another part of my life. It's another part of the journey where I know, same answer, it will eventually come good. It will eventually have what I want it to be, but there's still a part of you enjoys that. You know, you still have to step back sometimes and be like, oh, it's kind of cool. You know, I didn't even think that 3 years ago I would be standing in this position. Yeah, for sure I want good results. I want the car to be good. But I feel like that's kind of where you ask yourself, like, there's different parts of the sport where you can enjoy. Like more than just driving the car and sitting in the driver's seat.
And the struggle makes you appreciate the good times so much more.
Yeah.
You mean to it, yeah. You need to, it sucks that you have to go through it, but you have to,
and it makes
you have to
stronger.
go through some struggle, yeah. Yeah, if you're just served ice cream every day, you know, it's not,
it's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't
You'd
imagine.
hate ice cream.
I don't know. But yeah.
You would hate ice cream? No chance. There is no chance in the world.
No chance.
It's good to see the progression and the build up from all three of you just in different ways. Like it's and they're all in different stages too, which is kind of cool. Right? Like building out, developing that team, working with a team where you're not as, I know you're hands on. I've seen you on that car, but like you're not in the same way taking it back to the shed, working on it in between events.
Big difference,
right? And then James stepping into a team where it's a lot less hands-on, and then having that 1 year, the first year with the Mustang, where it was kind of like you still had an incredible result at the end of the season, but it was just off form, and then being like shit, and then winning it, and then be like, okay, but I'm going to try now and do that over here.
That's where,
all three of you have done the exact same thing, where you've done really well, and then been like, let's make this more difficult because, like, you know, we just need to. I got to try something different. I got to try it in a new way and see what that result looks like.
Yeah.
It's healthy. I mean, it's not healthy in a lot of ways.
It's not healthy to go through it.
No, but it's healthy as a
the pressure we put on ourselves. Like, I don't think people don't understand.
Yeah, that's why you cut your grass every chance you get. It's a meditation time.
Cut it today.
There's a lot. It looks great when we pulled in.
I'll take myself some grass.
A lot of grass.
I'll save a patch for
I'll
you.
cut the other side. No, it is. It's like we do put ourselves under like immense amount of pressure.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Like I don't think we actually need to put ourselves under as much pressure as we do, but I think it's just how we're built, and that's how we see us like getting to where we eventually want to be with it. Even though I don't think we know where that is.
Yeah,
you know, we do this every year with like the same outcome, kind of, and you're like, we'll go again, and you're like, why are we going again? Do you know what I mean? But like, I think we just don't. Like, it's just.
I feel
what
like
we want
would,
to do. You know,
personally speaking, I don't think I would have ever got close to getting, you know, the championships or whatever, good results over the years if I didn't put myself under pressure.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I always
Absolutely.
loaded myself and like.
Yeah, you wanted it to be. Yeah.
And that probably isn't the healthiest thing, as you said, but
The want is crazy.
you got it.
keeps you hungry. It just it
You
gives
know
you
what it's
something to
like.
work towards.
Like Conor looks at me as if I'm very competitive, but like,
No, for sure.
Conor is
No,
crazy.
And you do drive yourself crazy. You do. But when you're in that state of mind, it's like it's the best feeling in the world. Really, there's nothing. I don't think what personally comes close to it. But yeah, for sure, there is times where you say to yourself, "All right, just chill out for a second." But I always laugh when James, like, you know, fans from the outside and people looking in. You wake up like qualifying day, whatever, then you wake up like race day. And I'm like, here we go, another day.
Yeah.
Feel terrible when you get out of bed and thinking about all the things. And you just almost want to see at that stage, just like, let me see how the end of the day looks.
Yeah, and then we can make our mind up.
Then I can change my mood towards it. And those days they're terrible sometimes. Those days are like, they're just, you almost just like, even if it's a bad result, you almost just want to know.
Yeah.
You know, you're just putting in all this work and you're all this stress and all this worry. And but then at the same time, I don't know how somebody could not be competitive, because I would have zero interest
in anything
doing this sport if I wasn't competitive.
There's no way. Why
would you do it? Like,
just
no chance.
How many nights of sleep a month are we missing?
Go play golf or something, or like there's no chance.
There's no way.
Well, today you had that opportunity. You could have went and played golf today.
Jacob screwed me today.
Oh, really?
I was going to go play pitch and putt with Brendan and Fionn, and Jacob rocked
That's
on.
my fault, I'm helping you align a car. That's what we were doing. I was getting my hands dirty. I was texting and
Was he
holding
any good?
He was good at holding toe plates.
That's all I had to do. I was keeping him company. I was texting people. It's great. It's a great time.
So
You could have went and played.
You actually could do it playing a bit of pitch and putt. I reckon it'd be good.
yeah, no, I think I'm gonna try to get into it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Try to take the little
If Jack
be-
went there now, we'd be launching clubs
There'd
at
be
this stage,
golf clubs
straight
snapped
over the
and everything.
trees.
Yeah. I'd even try. It even frustrates me, and I probably have a
Yeah.
bit of patience for it. So
Yeah, no, I think I need to do that. Try to get my patience back a small bit.
I actually think I think your patience have been pretty good, and I think that's a huge part of like a lot of people ask me and Jack as brothers, and I personally feel like that's one of the hardest things is that like the emotions is like a train crash or like it's hard because I personally feel like that's how we grew up and that's how it was for most of our life when we ever raced. So the days where it's hard, like for sure, I know Jack is going through a pretty shit time when it comes to driving, and I can see the result is there, and I'm just like, oh shit, it just needs to get over the line. And those emotions sometimes are just like, it's hard because I feel like personally, it's like a part of you is like shit. It's like you're doing it, but there's like another part missing, and I feel like he's personally the same. You know, I truly enjoy going to the seating bracket spotting for Jack, pushing him because I know that I can get the best out of him. Just because sometimes I'm an asshole to him and he's an asshole to me, and that's how we were. He'll tell me straight out, if you're shit, you're shit. That's how it is. But I think the biggest part of that is that also it's a very lucky thing to have. Like where, for example, if one of us gets knocked out, we can spend the whole rest of the weekend pushing. And, you know, for example, this weekend for me, I'm like panicking, being like, I battled Pessoa in the top 4, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this man has launch control or something.
It's off the
I'm
line.
like,
was
what?
insane.
Where's the hit?
I'm like,
market?
where is it's like it's like a NOS ball.
It was crazy.
And I come back to the pits and I'm like, my emotions are starting to take over because I really want to win this event, and I am like trying to stay as calm as I can, and I really want to win it. And the want sometimes can become overpower, and that feeling when you know that that's happening, you're trying to tell your brain, shut up, calm down. You know that you can do it. And I personally feel like it's a huge advantage to have like somebody like Jack. I know it's shit that he's not on the track, but in that case, that situation for me is huge because his emotions can then become like a almost support staff. Same for me if I'm in the situation where I'm trying to make a call and he's telling me, you're crazy, don't make the call. Or he'll tell me, yes, this is a good call. And it's, even though there's times where he knows more about the situation for me, but I would tell him like, don't make the call. Like, don't make that situation. I just feel like that comes back to the sport in general because you generally drive yourself nuts when you're in that environment. Like, you could convince yourself crazy. Like, when you see a situation like, how is he so fast? You literally would drive the whole ways back to the pits like, how is he so fast? What am I going to do? Where does it come from? Like, it's crazy when you take over like that.
It's a weird mental trip.
Yeah, for sure.
It is.
For sure. But it's kind of fun, to be honest.
Well,
When you look back
you're
at it,
still
it's-
doing it.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's got to be some fun in it.
It's either that or it's Rob. Insane.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
It's been mad.
is a trip for sure.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's really cool to get to see it from the outside perspective and still very much as the fan perspective, and then try to understand why you guys even do it. Because there's so many times where not just you three, but like drivers, and you see them going through it and they're swapping engines and all this stuff. And I'm like, why keep going? And like, it made me realize that's why I never got competitive in things, because I don't have that drive. It's not within my human being to do it. I'm competitive in other ways, but like not in sport. Cause I'm like, I wouldn't go through all this. Yeah. It makes no sense to me. This is like doing the math, doing the logics. It does not make sense to do it. But that's also why I would never be good at it, is because if you think about it too hard, it doesn't make sense. And then you're like, I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. You have to ignore all of that completely and go, I'm doing this because I want to and I have to. Like it becomes like it becomes a visceral need over anything else.
Yeah, I think we wrote down everything before we like got to like this like level of our career.
Yeah.
And wrote it all down and like realized how stressed and everything. Like we probably would have changed our mind, but at the same time, it kind of made us be what we are now. You know what I mean? So I think it like helps the determination when you are doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we had some bad like weekends. Like I remember when I first started drifting, my very first year, James was having a terrible year of drifting. And I was like, I remember like his car broke.
2012.
It's a great idea.
Every single event.
Like every single event his car broke. Like every single event. And at no point did he ever not want to go to an event. You know what I mean? And I was like, he is nuts. But I was like, let's go do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, it was mad how, like, he even took my car for a few events, and like I was like, then he was breaking my car. It was just such bad luck. Like, you know what I mean?
Stupid things.
Yeah, stupid, like literally ridiculous things. You know, like very weird issues. And at no point of the season did he stop. You know what I mean? It just he was going to the next event and that was it.
Yeah, but I feel like we all have that mentality.
Oh, exactly.
It's like never give up.
Yeah,
no
it's just
matter
you're
what.
not. Yeah,
Like,
you're just not going to stop.
We're driven, and we all know that. Well, I'm not going to give up because he's not going to give up. And like Dwayne McKeever now having an absolute shit show in Drift Masters, so unlucky.
Yeah.
He's probably the most he's ever prepared for a championship, and he's having the worst stuff happen to him.
Yeah, he'll still be in Riga.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's bad.
But that is the crazy thing. What you said is like probably the most he ever prepared.
Ever.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he wanted it more than ever this year.
Yeah.
What kind of believes in himself more than ever this year, I think.
Yeah, he knows it was possible.
Yeah.
What if that's like too much in his head? You said that when you get into those flow states and you're driving, obviously this is mechanical with him because his actual driving has been, when he is driving, it's still incredible.
His driving is always
nuts.
I don't think I've ever seen Dwayne drive bad.
Yeah.
No matter what carries him.
No matter what carries him, he's never drove bad.
Yeah.
He's always just like I think if you look at his success rate and success rate of the car, you nearly question as to how he's so successful. Like it's retarded. Like it's mad.
David mentioned at an event that he had gone like 4 years without losing a battle. Heads up, it was always mechanical that took him out for like over 4 years.
Yeah. No, I think if you were to really look at his statistics, it's fairly impressive. You know what I mean? So.
Like a true loss without a mechanical would be wild.
No, it's mad. It's but yeah, I think we'd all be the same if we were like, no matter what or where our year is going, we'd always just keep going.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's
You always wonder if like if there's a driver out there who is actually better but gave up sooner. Like maybe had all the talent and all the skill, but just didn't have the willpower to move on, and they're just sitting at home.
There's probably quite a few, to be honest. You know, that just couldn't deal with the
stress
of it. You know,
and there's so many stresses you go throughout a career. You know, it might be mechanicals, it might be budgets, it might be like,
it's always budgets.
Why are we doing this?
It's just bad luck. Even like it might even be the drift car.
Yeah,
it might be bad luck of other stuff.
I remember that time when I was having the shit with the RX-7 and the mechanical issues, and I was thinking, like, I don't have any money here. I am absolutely beyond broke. I have borrowed all the money I can borrow. Like, maybe next year I'll just go drive BDC with an arrive and drive, and I'll just be happy to drift for free, and that's my drifting. And I was like, I'm not ready for that. And then just kept on going, and the Falcon kind of stuff was happening then, and everything started to change and grow year by year. You know, and I could have just went that other direction, did 1 or 2, 3 years of BDC, and then stopped.
But it's mad, like you done that whole season of like nothing working, and like you were still like third in championship or something, but like you had a terrible season. Then the following season was my first season of like semi-pro and pro, and he won the championship. Like, so it just been complete flip the following season. And then the next year was with the 14, and it was like just this complete snowball effect.
Yeah, and then it was just
dominating
ran through everything.
You know, like it was mad. So it's just funny how it went so down to being like, is this worth it? Like, and then it was just, you know, from that point.
I think Tomas is a good example of like what would happen.
Yeah.
For sure. He was.
I personally think it would have been crazy, but like now when I look at him drive, I'm like, he's driving at a level where it almost looks like he never stopped.
Yeah, he's so many seasons, and he's still able to jump back in and find a way to drive.
It's kind of, it really. I remember the first time he came back when we went to Scotland, and he was driving an E46, and he actually drove the E46 bad, and I was like, he just doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And then he bought that 350Z, and we went to Goldstone one day, and it was like one day. And then I sat with him in the car, like, and I obviously, you know, we all drive the practice cars hard. If I sit in with you, like, we're laughing and we're driving, like, literally to the inch of the car. And I sat in with him a couple of times, and I'm like, I was like, didn't take him long. Like, he hadn't even driven a pro car yet. And then it was almost like he came back better.
Yeah.
But he didn't drive.
Honestly,
He didn't even have a simulator.
Yeah.
So
something clicked again.
I often like question to myself anytime I see him drive. Like, I watched his second qualifying run Drift Masters this weekend, and I was just like, what would have been the situation if he stayed drifting at that high level and followed the momentum. You know, obviously it didn't go that way, but it's cool to see that he's driving again. And, you know, his style is phenomenal. The car is so sick. But I often am
But
like...
it is mad though how he could stop for so long.
It is crazy.
And come back and like
Still
not
be good.
look out
But
of
there's-
place at all.
But there's not everybody could do that.
no, not all.
Like you look at somebody like back in... Like...
If you to be honest, if you took 2 or 3 people that were in the top 10 when he was like second or third in the championship to
like
you
Shane
and me,
O'Sullivan and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're bad drivers or anything, but
Well,
I
if-
feel
if
like they
did
would
come back,
they'd
now,
find it hard to adapt.
It'd be such a big like step.
The
like,
car,
The
everything.
speed, the
Yeah.
power,
the
the
speed.
grip.
He actually had the fastest run in practice.
Yeah.
He was. I think later on in competition, guys were getting faster. He was 157.
Yeah,
Going-
that was his qualifying
going-
run, I think, wasn't it?
It was either qualifying or
Yeah.
practice, but either way, until I think we got into top 8, he had the fastest runs.
Yeah.
And I think Kevin might have taken it for a little bit, but I didn't
Kevin
check by
done-
the end of the weekend. But
Kevin done 188.
I never checked what Kevin's was.
I
at the
didn't
end.
either.
you can go back and take a look.
It'd be interesting to see.
It got crazy. I stopped looking. I have so many things
Did it go
happening
to
right now.
160?
I believe at least one driver broke 160.
It's a short space of time to accelerate to
Me
160.
and Tomas before our battle were standing there, and we were standing. Remember, we always talk about where we always started before. Me and Tomas
my
were lining
God.
up for our battle, like where we used to start, like back in the day, basically. And me and Tomas were like just thinking, like we're doing just under 100 miles an hour from the start line that we have now.
And it's quite short when you
It's
look
short.
at
And it's very, very short.
It is short.
Like very, very short.
Yeah.
Like we used to start at least 60, 70 meters back further,
it. Yeah.
like 10 years ago.
Jesus.
We actually were going in faster though, to be fair.
Oh,
like
yeah,
back
100%.
then we were.
Yeah.
Like James is S14, was probably the only driver on the grid that had the gearing worked out. So his car used to do 110 miles an hour.
Oh my
And
God.
it
On the
used,
limiter,
it
and
used
I
to
was-
just hit the limiter as he handbraked.
Like
So-
in the top of 4th, and that was
Yeah.
it. Jesus.
But was
I remember
the
one time
We did a practice run.
did we roll through the
Yeah.
start? We started back further again.
So basically there was like this like start procedure that we done in IDC at one point to see if we
cone.
could like level out the chase runs
I remember
without the
that.
chicane.
Where you come around the corner and you have to like
Yeah,
line
we
up.
had to drive. Basically, we had the start line marshal would give us both thumbs up, and then you'd go, and he had a green and red flag. And if you were rolling at the correct speed and close enough together,
Green.
he'd give you a green flag.
Okay.
But in practice, that was quite a long space though to get this like sequence right. But me and James were lined up for practice, and we like looked over and gave each other a nod. We were like, we'll just go flat from here, and
So we both passed your
we
man.
both passed your man, top of second gear, and you're only meant to be rolling in first gear like really slowly. But we just sent it from the get go, and like that was
Good fun.
Yeah,
was the first clipping point in the same place?
back a little bit further, I'd say.
Yeah, must have been back further.
Had to have been really,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
And everyone
so
used
you-
to put wheels on the car back then
Yeah,
and stuff.
you did flick and hold like that direction for longer, which to me I think is a way better way of doing that track. But yeah, I hate just flicking to it and going. It's not great. I think it was way better when we
You
were
want
going
the
faster.
inside clip further back and then shoot it past the
No,
curves
the
or on the
inside
curves?
clip. Inside clip has stayed in the same place forever, I'd say.
Okay.
But when we started further back, we used to have our initiation line back further.
The first zone was
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
And then
on that rumble
you'd
strip.
flick, and you'd be able to flick through it and stay on the rumble strips for a little bit longer, and
Yeah.
then go in. And it was way easier to create formation with a leading chase car.
Yeah, because it's
As
pretty
we're now,
setup time.
Yeah.
as we're now, you have to flick and go with them straight
And
away.
if you don't snap the angle, you're it's
So
such
you're
a hard
goosed, yeah.
track. Yeah.
So
Sorry,
yeah,
it's a new one.
I would prefer if we started back further again,
Yeah.
but
More faster.
more
That'd be
faster.
flat out.
And everyone would have that second of adjusting on the handbrake a bit more, where the
settle.
chase guy can set up right in the
Yeah.
right place.
Yeah. And I think it would become a little bit more less of a drag race, which I know makes no sense.
No, I know what
But
you're saying.
now it's like
Yeah, now you're flat.
now you're on the starting line and you're literally like clutch out, finding the bite on the handbrake like 3,
Yeah.
2, and like it's a launch. And if you don't launch with them and you don't
You're
get the launch, you're done.
Yeah.
I feel like a longer run up would take like a lot of balls to go like launch
Yeah.
and be as hard as you can. You know, I was like,
I think there's a few drivers that would still do this exact same thing though, so it could be very dangerous.
yeah, probably, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But the race now is like you're like fighting wheel spin in first gear, like almost like waiting.
Really
you
is going
know?
to be a race as well.
yeah.
Always is.
For some reason, I find Riga is a little bit
Easier
to read. I don't know if it's because you have more time to get back behind the car.
I don't know.
Or maybe just like
I
turbo
think the thing
cars or something have
sometimes
more
where-
time to get in.
Remember Chris Stapps and Riga that time?
Oh,
man.
that was crazy.
Insane. That IDC thing that we don't remember. The speed of him in the straight was just
Oh,
like
he,
out of
in the
this.
lead?
Ah, man. He was like gone. Like I battled him in top 32.
And he was just gone.
And
That's crazy.
I'm fully sure he was at the second corner before I pulled the handbrake. Like
That's crazy.
I couldn't see him. Like it was mad. Somebody
Place just
fall.
popping? Yeah, someone fall off your roof.
That's just getting cold outside.
Oh,
yes, yes,
That was a little spooky.
It's the ghost coming in out of the goal.
You're in Ireland now.
Yeah, there's ghosts everywhere.
That's the
People
guy.
die all the time.
He comes in every night to shake us with a bit of talent every night.
Yeah.
That's the guy coming in there
That's
now.
the guy. Yeah.
Dust you with talent.
With a bottle of water.
He blesses us at night.
God, well, that's why I'm staying at your house tonight. I'm hoping I get a little bit of that. If you could
Just
just,
fill the sleeping bag here on the ground.
Yeah, you wake up in the morning, you sign the Eurofighter asleep against the fuel tank.
I'd still suck. Let's be honest here. I'm not a driver. It's all good. I just enjoy talking about it a whole lot. That's about it. Yeah. Well, gents, this has been awesome. This is exactly the kind of catch up general conversation I wanted to have. So this is perfect. I don't think I've learned why you guys are better drivers than so many others, but I mean, maybe we're a little bit closer. I don't know. Did I ever ask you? I know I asked you. This is a total weird question. Well, if it doesn't make sense, I'll explain it in a minute. Did you guys grow up with cats?
No.
You didn't have any cats? Okay, well, the whole theory goes out the window then. There's a weird brain disease you can get when you have cats early on. I'm serious. It's called toxoplasmosis, and it causes people to have no fear. And there's a disproportional amount of race car drivers and motorcycle riders and all these things that all have this same brain disease. And it won't kill you, but it just affects the part of your brain that causes fear.
You just don't see it.
Your body does not react to fear the way that everybody else's do. That part of your brain does not activate. So I just have this theory that all of you guys have this one disease.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all had lots of dogs, but no cats.
No
Yeah,
cats.
we want a dog.
Yeah, specific with cats. That's what it's. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to the drawing board on that one. But
Yeah, maybe it's a question to every TT rider.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because they definitely
They're
grew
different
up with
breeds.
cats.
that's a whole other.
To be
Is
honest,
that
I
where
don't
you
see-
draw the line? Like,
Oh,
I
in-
don't see
funny
our sport
God.
as dangerous at all.
I don't think
way.
I'd even watch it.
Yeah.
None of mine do it.
No chance.
I've always wanted to go to the TT just to see a bike go past once, but I reckon I'd leave then.
and it's like, yeah, I'm
Because
done because you're gonna
I
watch
get it.
someone die.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
sport is.
definitely.
We're lucky that our sport is safe. Like,
It is.
Yeah. You know. But those people are. That's crazy.
but-
That is
Because
crazy.
that's where you guys draw the line. Like, no,
all.
done.
They have cats.
That's a
They
whole
have
other.
cats.
They still have cats because they're nuts.
That's a whole other podcast.
All right. Any last minute thank you, shout outs, anything like that? Anything cool coming down the pipe? Watch the end of all the Shanahan's videos.
Yeah.
If you're watching Shanahan's videos, make sure to watch until the very end because that's when the best shit pops up. I still think you need to lead with those bits though.
We'll see. We'll see.
What's that?
Oh, you gotta
Yeah,
watch
my
it.
last YouTube video was very
I didn't
funny.
see.
He went off the rails. He was like,
Oh, did you?
he had a piece of footage where he went, I don't know if I should delete this or keep it. And he went, I'll throw it at the end. Yeah.
Excellent.
It's really good.
That's what I'm doing after this.
Might as well work our way down the line, Jack. Any last minute thank yous, anything like that?
No? See you in St. Louis.
See you soon. Yeah. No, thanks for making the effort to visit us at home.
Yeah.
It's weird to do a podcast
Sitting here.
with you in Ireland.
Yeah.
in the workshop. Like it's a bit random, but yeah, we're good for it.
Made it work. Made it work.
And,
We'll
yeah.
be pretty sick by the end of the year if we've done the exact same podcast, sitting at a podium drinking champagne.
That'd be sick.
Let's
That would be
manifest that one.
Can we? Yeah, if we could get all three of you guys on a podium show.
If we could do a 1, 2, 3 podium, we'd be fairly set, I'd say.
It would be fairly drunk that
That'd be
night.
a good night out. That's
I would
for
probably
sure.
do it late. I wouldn't do it right after the podium. I'd do it later in the night,
No,
and then bring you all back.
The
and
three
like,
of us
all right.
never been on a podium together, right?
Nah, not all
Because
at
I've
once.
shared podiums with both of you.
Yeah,
but
not all at
not
No,
once.
never
together.
actually. That's
That'd be
crazy.
sick.
That is
Ah,
crazy.
that is crazy.
We've never had an all-Irish podium in Drift Masters or FD.
We have.
We haven't.
Friends.
No.
No?
You were fourth.
I was fourth.
Yeah. Me and Dwayne, I was first, Dwayne was second, Conor was fourth.
Handbrake broke.
One job.
Yeah.
One job.
Definitely been plenty with two of us. but
Yeah,
not
we've
like-
had lots of double ones.
Yeah, each
That's
yeah.
actually crazy that that's never
We've
happened.
never had a 1, 2, 3.
Gotta make it happen.
That'd be a good night out.
I would not. I would not go. I've spent one night drinking I mean, allegedly with you guys. I'm set. I'm good. Thanks, though. All right. Well, thanks for everybody for watching.
Feel like drinking water.
We need to do some of these big shows again.